Welcome, everybody, this week to the Countdown City WrestleCast. My name is JC. Joining me this week again is Tommy.
What's up, guys?
I just want to remind everyone to follow us on our Twitter account at CCG_WrestleCast. And what a weekend it was, a nice Labor Day weekend, what a vacation, and of course, All In was amazing, as we all thought it would be.
Yeah, it did not disappoint.
No.
And I knew it. I figured it wouldn't, but it was so good. So good. That was such a great show.
It was amazing. The WrestleMania of the Indies, if you will.
I'd say so.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
This is probably something that if you don't have a contract to a major company or you're on the independents, this is the show you want to work towards. It'll get your eyes, everyone, like, it'll get WWE's eyes on you, TNA's eyes on you, Ring of Honor's. It'll be just something amazing. So today on the show, we're going to run down the results from All In, what we thought of the matches, what we thought of the show overall, and it's just that's really what our show's about. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
Absolutely.
Let's get to it. We'll start with the pre-show, which of course was on WGN America. Purpose of a pre-show, this is like old school pay-per-view. Hey, here's what we got going on tonight. Here's the crowd. Here's a couple of great matches. This is going to get you to get some pay-per-view buys. You spend your $40 for 4 hours of wrestling, which is not a bad deal.
Yeah, not at all.
So the show started off with the Briscoe brothers against Soul Cal Uncensored. We both got this wrong.
Yeah,
I was. The Briscoes would win.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, what?
It turned out to be a good night for Soul Cal Uncensored.
Yeah,
so
it did.
It really was. And
SCU!
The crowd was hype the whole night, and this really set the tone for
this
that.
This is one of the crazier crowds I've seen on any live event. I was so mad. I was like, I want to be there because this crowd was hype as all get out, man. It was amazing.
Yeah, it just if I had won the lottery or had money, I definitely would have made a whole weekend of StarCast and All In. And
Absolutely.
like that. So yeah. But then again, if I had money, this would have like crazy good production value. But,
if I had money, I'd help you out for sure.
That's right. So of course, Soul Cal Uncensored won. Great match, great way to start it off, great way to get people into the show.
But it was the Briscoes and Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. The chances of it being bad was like everything would have had to have gone wrong. Everything. Literally everything would have to have gone wrong.
It's definitely not. So great show, really enjoyed it. Then of course, the appropriately named over budget battle royal.
For those of you who don't know, it's like the amount of production costs that go into a wrestling show. That's like the most perfect name for a wrestling, like anything almost. Over budget battle. That was so great. I remember when I first heard it, I was like, this is perfect. Yes, let's do this. I don't care who's in it.
Especially for the talent they had.
Yeah.
So when they announced the match, it was going to be 15 people. It ended up being 19 people. Some surprise entrants were the Hurricane, Shane Helms, Bully Ray, Tommy Dreamer, even Chico El Luchador, who we found out later ended up being Flip Gordon in disguise.
Who finally got booked on All Freaking In. I was
like,
finally, oh my God. That was like the longest running joke with this.
I just enjoyed that he hosted the tailgate party All Out.
Yeah.
For hours before the show in the parking lot of the City Center. He figured, poor guy, he's not going to get in. But
I legitimately thought he wasn't going to get in. I was like, all right, well, I guess they're legitimately not going to book Flip for this. I was like, well, I mean,
the beauty of independent wrestling.
Independent
wrestling, and they kept up a story of him and Bully Ray for the whole Ring of Honor feud they're dealing with. So.
I think Bully Ray and Tom Jr. were just like, we'll do it for free. Yeah, we're already here.
We already got a bunch of money from StarCast.
So they throw us in. We're not going to charge you. We'll just go out there and throw some punches and get them over the top rope.
Yeah, so of course Flip Gordon won, and he got him a title shot against Jay Lethal later on in the night for the Ring of Honor World Championship. We will get to that.
Yeah.
So that was it for the pre-show. 2 great matches. We'll wait to see how well that did. Of course, pay-per-view numbers come out later.
I'm interested to see because I know I checked it out on New Japan World afterwards. So I just want to know who all ordered it because I'm sure it must have had an amazing buy rate.
Yeah, and I'm sure once Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks announced that on Twitter, I'll probably be retweeting that. CG_WrestleCast to follow that. So, on to the main card. We had a match that started that wasn't announced.
Yeah.
It was MJF, a good up-and-comer, against Matt Cross, who's been on the Indies for so long. And quite honestly, it was a great starting match. It was a great, kind of surprise match. It was a good opening. You go to an independent show, they get a couple guys to start off that no one really knows. Of course, we all know who Matt Cross is. And Matt Cross honestly wrestled the match he should have wrestled years ago on Tough Enough when Trish Stratus told him, "Hey, show me what Matt Cross can do."
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing against Matt Cross, but it's like, come on, step up and do it. And
somebody about him on Tough Enough just didn't gel. I guess I don't know.
it wasn't his style. I think.
Yeah, I guess that's probably it. Yeah,
that's probably the thing.
This kind of thing is more his speed. I've been a huge Matt Cross fan for years and years and years. So it's always good to see him.
If anything, this match definitely showcased MJF.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh man, this dude's such a freaking heel. He's so great at it. I think if he keeps on this kind of path in the next few years, MJF's just going to be like that heel you love to hate because he's so good at it. He came out there and 10,000 people wanted to kill him in like 30 seconds. Matter of fact, I didn't think he got to the ring yet. Everyone was like, "Yeah, we hate him. Yeah, we hate him. Do not like this guy."
They like his work.
His work was great.
Yeah.
You know, his character's the perfect kind of heel character, though.
Definitely. Of course, Cross wins after a shooting star press. He's got one of the best ones in the game.
It was a good match. They were really, really good about how they worked each other. I think MJF's like kind of somewhat technical heel style worked well with Matt Cross's high flying. I thought it was just really, really well booked.
Yeah, definitely. Good starting match.
Mm-hmm.
So next on the card, I was surprised this was early, but
me too.
Yeah, the Fallen Angel versus the Green Arrow. Of course, we'll talk about Christopher Daniels against Stephen Amell. And the ref was the new Reffin' Show, Jerry Lynn. That's how he was introduced. That was awesome.
I was watching that. I was like, I actually had to rewind it. I was like, wait, I want to make sure I heard that correct. So I hit the replay, the 30-second one on my New Japan World account, and I was like, they said new Reffin' Show. This is already the best pay-per-view.
Yes.
This is already the best pay-per-view I've ever seen.
Jerry was good too.
He did. I was like,
still go.
Yeah, I was like, he could come out of retirement. I would never be mad at seeing a Jerry Lynn match. I've had the pleasure of seeing him wrestle live. We both have here in Texas, and the guy's just amazing. Amazing.
So nice guy too.
Yeah, very nice guy.
Tommy got this one right, picking Christopher Daniels.
Yes.
Amell to me looked nervous. I know this was his first singles match. They made a point of telling that on the commentary.
Yeah.
How he was undefeated in wrestling matches. Granted, those were tag matches.
Right.
But in singles, Christopher Daniels gave him props after the match on Twitter. Said this guy spends up to 16 hours a day filming Arrow in Vancouver, of all places, putting in that work and still training for this match, still working hard for it. He really put the time in.
Yeah.
And looked a bit nervous. Definitely could bump.
Oh,
Selling
yeah,
was
for sure.
Selling was a little, I mean, psychology takes work. But I mean, he's green. So it was only his third match. I think the funny thing the commentary said was his third match, he's wrestling in front of 10,000 plus, and Christopher Daniels' third match, he was wrestling in front of 16 people.
Yeah, that was great.
25 years of experience. It was great to see him with Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels can definitely control that match as far as like leading it. It was slow at first, but the crowd definitely was into the match. You know, they were invested in it either way. And definitely after Amell's coast to coast.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, the rest of the match to me was like, okay, he did a coast to coast. Literally everything else he does is completely passable because he had the cojones enough to pull that off.
And then if that wasn't enough, he goes for an elbow drop from the top rope outside the ring onto a table. Of course, Daniels moves, and he takes the brunt of that. And wow.
I think this is why because like I actually was talking to some friends who were saying that that match wasn't that good. This is where I'm like, I can't really judge like how quote unquote good he wrestled in this match because again, not only is this his third match, he's an actor. And he had to be nervous. I mean, he doesn't dedicate his entire life to this. No offense to him, he's an actor. That's his craft. He's doing this because he loves it because Cody's his friend and wants to help him out. And he's brave enough to take all these bumps and get beat up. He can get paid having a stunt double do this. He doesn't need to be here.
Got more eyes on the show.
It did.
It's one of those things that gets more eyes on the show.
Yeah, and so to me, I think the match was just fine. Was it a 5-star classic? Of course not. It was never gonna be. I never expected that going in. I expected an entertaining match and a match where both guys were gonna give it their all, and that's what I got. Stephen Amell did not need to take all those risks that he did, but he did for the sake of the show and to have had the best match he could. I say mission achieved.
It was a lot of fun to watch too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Whether you're a fan of Green Arrow or not, it was a blast to see that.
You know what I thought about? I was like, how many more wrestling fans are going to watch Green Arrow now simply because he was like, you know what? That Stephen Amell guy.
Yeah. He's an athlete.
You know
or if
what?
He does his own stunts too.
I gotta check out Arrow now because this guy got in a wrestling ring. I'm gonna check out Arrow.
Yeah. A lot of fun. Great job, Stephen Amell. I mean,
very, very, very good job. Very
good. I mean, if this acting thing doesn't work out.
Yeah, if after Arrow you're like, I'm gonna hang up acting, I'm sure Ring of Honor is just waiting for you.
Yeah. Any wrestling company might be great to have you on.
Yeah, for sure.
So. Next, we had the 4-way, the women's match, which to me I think stole the show. Note on this: they brought out some guest commentators. They brought out Mandy Leon and Tenelle Dashwood, a.k.a. Emma from her WWE days, which was pretty cool to hear her voice and see her on TV again, even if it was just a commentary. You got this right with Tessa Blanchard winning with her family there in the ringside area.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
There.
The pin after Hammerlock DDT. First off, notes on the entrance. Britt Baker, of course, comes out with her boyfriend Adam Cole's old music when he was on the entrance.
That was so funny. Okay, that was great for one more reason aside from just hearing that music, because I love his original theme song. Just this is so great. But on commentary, I don't know if you heard it. It was either Don Callis or Rick Abani said.
I think Don Callis was away from the table.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so.
And then he said, "Oh yeah, you're right. He was backstage." So he said, "Adam Cole's old music. I hear. I wonder if he's doing okay. Last I heard he was a ghost, and I fell out of my chair laughing. I was like, being the Elite really does this job of killing wrestlers. Although I swore I saw him on NXT. I guess it's Adam Cole's twin brother. I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was so hilarious.
So you had that homage, of course. Chelsea Green paid tribute to her boyfriend Zack Ryder doing his
woo woo.
As I mentioned, this match just stole the show. There was a lot of high flying spots. There was a lot of good technical wrestling. A lot of false finishes.
Mm-hmm.
So many points where this match could have just, you thought it was over and it just kept going.
Yeah.
And I believe the first standing ovation of the night mid match was this match too.
I think so.
The crowd loved it.
I think it's. It's not just the women's revolution that's happening in WWE right now. It's like these 4 ladies. Well, Madison Rayne in particular have always been. She's always been at the forefront of women's wrestling being just amazing. Mm-hmm. I've seen Chelsea Green live. I've seen Britt Baker live, and I've seen Tessa Blanchard live. Never seen Madison Rayne live, amazingly enough. But these 3 ladies are all up and comers in their own right. They've been in a while, but they're all amazing. And so I knew going in this match was going to be good. I think I underestimated how good it was going to be and how much work they put in.
Did. Yeah.
Because, you're right.
Yeah.
And I think they went out there knowing that, so they had to prove everybody wrong. It's like, everyone thinks it's going to be a good match. Let's make this one of the best matches on the card. And I'll be damned if they didn't make an arguable case for being the best match on the card.
I think they knew they did something special too. Right after the match, they all had that hug in the ring.
Yeah.
And I think they had tweeted a picture of the 4 of them looking at this on the stage out in the ring, and they definitely did something special.
Yeah. I think. Well, okay. So to be perfectly honest, a Chicago crowd is hard to win over. I mean, they were pretty hyped for
unless you're
All
from
In.
Chicago.
True, and they were pretty hyped for All In already. But in a second, they can make or break a match. And I think the fact that, like you said, they gave them the standing ovation and the match wasn't even over yet proves that they had already proved that they had really earned this spot, and rightfully so.
And some have said the finish seemed kind of abrupt, but I liked it. I liked that Tessa got the pin a split second before the other 2 ladies could interrupt the finish. It just shows how close it was.
I think some matches need abrupt finishes like that. I've seen, and you can't do it all the time, but every now and again it's just fine. I've seen a lot of matches that have finishes that are like, they're a split second away from, such like a triple threat or fatal 4-way. Oh, they almost made it to the stop the count, but they didn't. I like that. It's cool. It didn't happen every single match, so it was fine.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Great match, and that led into the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship, which the crowd was really behind this.
They
Guest commentator was Brent Turing, who was an OVW commentator and actually called Cody Rhodes' first match when he wrestled in OVW.
How cool is that?
That was pretty awesome to see him. And of course, we both picked Nick Aldis. We're actually both, I think, pretty happy we got it wrong.
Yeah, I was actually very thrilled to get this wrong. And, so I didn't mind at all. The funny part was I was like, damn, don't cry. It's like, because when Cody won, I was like, do not cry. Especially like every time I looked on Instagram or Twitter, there's a picture of Cody. And they put it right next to the American Dream. I was like, "Do not cry.
Yeah,
this is happy. don't cry. But it's such a cool.
Yeah. The whole match was great. I mean,
whole match was a lot of fun.
DDP hitting a diamond cutter on Shawn Daivari was awesome. Just anything could happen.
I think when I saw that, I got reminded of something I've always meant to say. I think Shawn Daivari's ability to sell any move is highly underrated because he legitimately he was knocked out from that diamond cutter. I was like, Shawn Daivari, dude, does not get enough credit for just being, whatever he's doing, just being in the ring. He doesn't get enough credit.
True that. Cody, congrats, man. Well deserved.
For sure.
You can tell he was emotional with this, handling a belt that his dad held years and years ago. He'll own the 10 pounds of gold on the 70th anniversary of the NWA.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you defend it on that show.
Absolutely.
And of course, the pop of the night was as soon as he won, because it was a quick pin. They'd hit finisher after finisher, kicked out. Aldis goes for a sunset flip, and Cody countered into a pin, and that's how it won. The crowd wasn't expecting it. And when he won, the crowd just was nuts.
Yeah. And that's another one of those finishes. I'm kind of glad it happened that way because it wasn't clear cut. It was just a matter of literally out wrestling your opponent. It wasn't one big move or another. Although they hit their big moves and it meant nothing. I think just that psychology of that match has really helped it. I think a lot.
Yeah. And props to Nick Aldis, who was a great champion.
Absolutely.
That belt.
Great champion.
I think they said on the commentary that within the span of 60 days, he had also defended the title 20 times.
Yeah,
for
and
unheard of with NWA titles.
Yeah, that's just plain crazy.
Yeah, more than Brock Lesnar and a fraction of the time.
Oh please, more than Brock Lesnar's title defenses period as champion ever.
So then we got a pre-match vignette of Hangman Page haunted by the ghost of Joey Ryan and everything that he did. Little foreshadowing. Of course, this got into...
You take it for the next few seconds.
I'll take it for the next few seconds. So, this led into a Chicago street fight. We'll talk about the match and then
let's talk about the match first.
Of course, after we had recorded last week's show, they announced that this match had been changed to a Chicago street fight with Joey Janela against Hangman Page.
Yeah.
And then Penelope Ford was in Joey Janela's corner. These guys for street fight just did everything. A literal barrel, sponsored by Cracker Barrel, was used in the match.
That was so genius. I was like, this pay-per-view just made it worth the $40 and the fact that there was a Cracker Barrel.
Funny story on that.
Why?
They got the Cracker Barrel sponsorship because Cody and all the guys kept taking pictures on the rocking chairs and Cracker Barrels as they crossed the country. Every single one.
They did it here in San Antonio, too, when they were here for Ring of Honor. Yeah.
But, every weapon, everything that they used made sense. A lot of these matches you might see on the independents where they're just using weapons to use weapons.
Yeah.
They made sense here.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with Penelope Ford. I hadn't seen much of
her. Actually, she totally, to me, kind of almost stole the match a couple times.
Just her little back handspring in the corner, duck under, back bend up into a stunner on Hangman Page. That whole sequence was great.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing more from her.
She took a super kick like a freaking champ, too.
Yeah, she did.
She took an ugly one.
Yeah.
And then the finish was, my God, I thought Joey Janela was dead.
Yeah. Oh, ooh.
Rite of passage off the ladder through a table.
Yeah, I was when they were setting it up, I was like, there's no way they're going to actually do. And then when he hooked him up, they're not going to actually do. And then he jumped off the ladder. They're actually doing this, and that's murder. That is murder. That's the second Joey Hangman Page is killed. He's going to jail.
But what a match.
That was a great match.
Just when you think it's over, the lights go out. Now, this is the part of the show where it gets borderline rated R.
And I can't talk.
I'm just going to handle this one here. So, we see Joey Ryan supposedly dead in the hospital bed, and then he gets a little bulge movement downstairs. Of course, we know Joey Ryan is famous for, his member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
And it was the res erection of Joey Ryan, as the commentary put out. You see some druids, I'll say, dressed as penises. I think somebody joked that they were the fluids.
I did not hear that.
The commentary was the phalanx of phalluses. Which was a great term.
The phalanx of... Oh, my... Man, the commentary was on point for this show. I'm sorry. The commentary to me also was worth the $40.
Oh, it was awesome. And Joey Ryan's music hits. And we've seen Joey Ryan live so many times.
Yes.
And he's a lot of fun. And seeing him on TV in this show, you're a little disappointed the whole Ghost to Joey Ryan. We didn't see him in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
He's even on the show. And then they set it up for this, and it was gold. It was just perfect. The crowd was just into it. They loved it. We got a U-pornplex. He got the lollipop into Hangman's mouth and a nice super kick. And then he's carried out by a bunch of dicks. I don't know if all their names are Richard. We'll just assume that.
If one of their names are Richard, John, or Peter, those guys needed a raise. I don't care what Cody paid them. They needed an extra $50 at least if any of their names were Richard, John, or Peter.
I just want to know if any of those guys get famous later on. They're going to say, "Yeah, I got my start dressed up as a penis
for Joey Ryan."
For Joey Ryan. So
and if you guys watching, listening to this, think at any point we're exaggerating anything we just said, for the love of God, watch All In and get to this point, because it's just
hilarious.
It was. It's the reason why I'm laughing so hard is because
it's the crowd chanting at the end.
Oh, that made it perfect. It went from already perfect to even more perfect than it already was when the crowd chanted, and I quote, "Rest in penis."
Over and over again.
Over and over again. To the point where when you first hear it, you're thinking, I did not just hear it, I think I just heard it. Until you really listen to the audio, you're like, that's what, and then the commentary confirms it. Yeah. And then you're like, this is the best wrestling show that's ever been put on anywhere ever.
I believe there's already a t-shirt inspired by it with the whole purple and black look. It says Undertaker Joey Ryan. I think I saw a picture on the internet, and if it's not on ProWrestlingTees.com, it probably will be very soon.
If it's not, it's going to be on Young Bucks merch to the point where Adam Page is going to be like, dude, really? You put it on your website?
Arguably the moment of the night, because there's one later in the night that might have topped it, and we'll get to that. But that was arguably the moment of the night. So from there, we got the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Yeah.
Flip Gordon, who won the Battle Royal earlier in the night, challenging Jay Lethal, who right before the match got tapped on his shoulder and went full Macho Man. Wow.
Ooh, yeah.
Of course, I'll say I got this wrong only because I thought Pac was going to debut.
Yeah.
And maybe steal it, but
I'll
take the L. But the people that got it right were Tommy, and then I'm going to say my wife Tina got it right because she'll pick Jay Lethal for anything. She loves Jay Lethal. Match was great. I mean, Flip Gordon impressed.
Match was so much fun. Oh, man.
This really showcased what Flip Gordon can do.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
Now, as far as the Macho Man thing, great to see Lanny Poffo accompanying.
Yeah, that was really, really cool.
Really awesome.
I thought that was
Randy Savage's brother.
That was so cool to see.
Jay Lethal in full Macho Man gear. He does a lockup. Well, even then, the Code of Honor, when he does the Mega Powers handshake. Yeah, the whole thing.
It was amazing.
He thought he couldn't go any more macho. He immediately gets out of the ring and drags Brandy to his corner like Macho Man would with Elizabeth. He tries to get out. He goes and grabs her again.
I think Brandy's face is what made it perfect. She's like legitimately like, what is actually happening right now?
Oh man! And then later on, of course, she gets in the ring and he carries her like he did Elizabeth all the time.
Yeah, and she's still like, why am I up here? Yeah. I don't know what's going on. There's a picture that she put on, I think, of her Instagram of her like looking like this while she's on his shoulder, and I was like, this was an amazing show. Like, oh my god, this whole thing was amazing.
Even better was Flip Gordon hulking up.
Yes,
the whole Hulk Hogan thing. Too.
Yeah, like because it was I was just like. This match flashed back to the 80s for like 30 seconds, and it might have been the greatest thing that happened on this whole pay-per-view.
The crowd loved it.
Yeah. And again, with the Chicago crowd, it's like, usually they would probably be kind of harsh on that kind of thing, but I think they realized that this was all just so much fun, no one cared anymore.
It was a blast to watch. Flip Gordon really impressed me. I hadn't seen a whole lot of his stuff, but this match might have made him a breakout star.
Yeah, I think people who are unfamiliar with him after seeing this match, you probably just heard like the name Flip Gordon. All he does is flips, and while he does do a lot of flips, this match showed he could do a lot more than just that.
Definitely. Yeah. And of course, we got our first. It was at this point #All In trended #1 worldwide during the match. So.
And I think there's no way you can overstate how crazy that is. That an independent show with absolutely no influence from WWE
on the first day of college football season too, mind you.
On the first day of college football season, completely dominated social media. completely. Like, was number one. It started off at number 3 when the show started. Let's just give that props too, because it started at number 3. That's huge, but it grew to number 1. That's insane. And somewhere Vince McMahon probably had a small coronary.
Oh man, he's got a. I would hope he appreciates what these guys do.
I hope so, because I think it's creating competition, which is good. You know,
yeah,
I think everyone wins when that happens. There's no downside.
Beauty of it too is I post a match. Bully Ray came out and attacked Flip Gordon. Keep that storyline going. Colt Cabana, Chicago Zone makes the save, and then they do a triple powerbomb through a table because why not?
Yeah. So here's what my favorite part about that powerbomb was.
What's that?
If you listen to it. When
the crowd?
Not the crowd, Bully Ray. When they host him up, he yells, "Oh my God, holy shit!" And right before he finishes, they crash into the table. And his Bully Ray has the best face, like in wrestling. Whenever he's in pain, his face just like tells it. He's just like ever since old WCW, he's been doing this. So the look on his face, he goes, "Oh my God, holy shit!" And I laughed a lot more during this pay-per-view than I really thought I was going to, because so many funny moments that were intentionally hilarious. Like, they were going for funny and nailed it.
They did a great job, too.
Yeah, they did.
Next, we had Kenny Omega against Pentagon Jr., or Penta Ocedo, as he was.
Yeah.
We both got this right, picking Kenny Omega,
yeah.
who earlier in the week was revealed as the PWI #1 wrestler in the world for 2018. So
PWI finally
got it. Congrats, Kenny.
Except they put Brock at number 4, so one step forward. I'll say one. You know what? I'll say half a step back, but they got the one step forward. I'll give them that.
Let's just say it's cool to see that Kenny Omega's going to be on the cover of that magazine when it comes out.
Finally.
And congrats to him. I heard he was real excited. I think they called him on Jim Ross's podcast and broke the news to him, so he was.
That's really cool.
That, yeah.
Cool.
Gets the pin after the One Winged Angel. Great match overall. I mean,
yeah.
The crowd was really into it on both sides.
Yeah.
Really showcased Pentagon as well if you hadn't seen a whole lot of his work as well. Now, post-match, we said that the Phalanx of Phalluses was one moment of the night, according to Joey Ryan, but this one was a hell of a surprise.
It was.
And the lights go out, and we're like, okay, another lights out. I swear they stayed off for what seemed like forever, maybe almost a whole minute. And come back on, we see, okay, maybe they just had a little power outage, who knows.
Yeah, I thought maybe like logistically with the building.
You still see Pentagon lying in the ring, but then he gets up and doesn't have as many tattoos on his arms as he did before.
That's what the first like that looks wrong for some reason.
Goes and attacks Kenny, and then hits a code breaker, and you're like, wait a second. And then of course pulls off the mask, and it is Chris Jericho antagonizing Kenny Omega again. And hits him with another code breaker and challenges him to his match at his Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea.
Yeah.
This was an amazing surprise. Jericho's become the master of surprises now, it feels
he has.
Everyone was checking his band Fozzie's schedule. Oh, they're booked in Kansas City that night. There's no way he'll be there. And I think he detailed it too on his Instagram that he flew from, I believe, to St. Louis, showed up at the Sears Center about 5:30. Probably snuck in while the show had already started.
Probably.
Did his thing, took off, got a private jet, still had the makeup on when he got onto the stage with his Fozzy gig. And wow. He surprised Kenny in New Japan. He surprised him here at All In. Let's face it, this guy's becoming... He's just going to surprise you everywhere he goes. He surprised after the Rumble years ago. And this was an awesome moment to see Chris Jericho there. For one of the biggest independent wrestling shows like ever.
Oh, absolutely.
And so this was amazing to see.
I read something he said one time that, which I don't know how this became an argument between wrestling fans, but he said that he's just as important as Brock Lesnar. And I'm thinking, well, where's the lie? And some people tried to argue against that. And I'm thinking, do you remotely pay attention to pro wrestling? Because Chris Jericho shows up and just... He can change the game of any promotion he's in. Definitely. And not only that, it's just that he has... I don't think he has as much of an ego about it as people might believe he does. Because, he goes to New Japan, does the work against Omega, against Naito. He'll take the beatings. He'll get beat up, but he'll get the beating right back. And then, I think he knows what Cody and the Youngest are trying to do with All In. And he knows that him showing up as a surprise, that makes people buy the replay. Or check out the replay because
gets people talking.
Yeah, Chris Jericho, WWE Chris Jericho was at this indie show, then oh yeah, I got to check it out. Chris Jericho knows the wrestling business. He knows how to keep things hype.
I just want to know how long they've had this booked, because when the Young Bucks and Cody appeared on Jericho's podcast a few weeks ago, they sold it like he wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
Just to get some information out
He's
there.
so good at that, though. He's so good at saying, "Oh,
Son of
I
a
never
bitch.
believe Jericho anymore." Whenever he says he's not going to be somewhere,
I swear he'll be at Evolution and all women's pay-per-view just for the hell of it, you know. So I mean,
he's going to show
not?
up. He's going to show up and give a code breaker to Ronda Rousey and challenge her at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'll see you at WrestleMania, Ronda. Bring the women's championship.
it'll be him or R-Truth challenging for a women's title at this point.
No, wait. R-Truth's going to win the women's title, and Jericho's going to show up and give a code breaker.
That's right.
I'm going to take it from your Survivor Series, R-Truth. Give me the belt, Truth.
A great moment.
I'd pay for that. I really would.
Wow.
I have problems, though.
Fantasy booking happens on this show.
Wouldn't be anything worse than anything WCW did in the 2000s.
No. That stuff was bad. Next we had Okada versus Marty Scurll. We both picked Okada. We both got this right, but this was the longest match of the night, and so many of the jokes on being elite was that Marty Scurll was going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
And he held his own. This match made him a bigger star than he probably already is.
I definitely agree with that because, okay, so I won't say that the list of people who can go with Okada is low, because it's not. I think there are a lot of guys who can go with Okada. Problem is that Okada just has an extra level he can hit when he knows he's in those crisis situations. I think he's been building that up for a long time, and I think after he beat Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom in the main event 2 years ago, that's when he was like, he became this superstar that he is. Well, ultra star he is now. He was already a superstar. But for Marty to meet him on that level and just about beat him on it, man, Marty Scurll's
stuff.
Yeah,
this guy's main event material.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Could be challenging any. Probably could be challenging for the Ring of Honor World Title. For all
That's actually where I thought he was actually going to be champion going into this. To say the truth.
Yeah.
But I think now, if anything, he's got a much stronger case. Because I think now at this point, beating Okada makes you super legendary like Kenny Omega. Meeting Okada at his level and just taking him to a limit where he has to force himself to like nail you with several rainmakers, that kind of thing. Then that's when you're like, okay, this guy's really, really good. Just going into that level, because Okada hit a rainmaker I'd never seen before, because he turned with it. It was almost like it was a rolling rainmaker. It was like, whoa, he's got to like really put Marty down to beat him, because Marty was determined to give Okada everything he had and did. And on a number of occasions, I swore Marty was going to win it. I was like, is this what we're doing today? Okay, cool. So, because I wouldn't have been mad, because a lot of people know I'm one of the biggest Okada fans you will ever meet. I am thoroughly convinced he is the best wrestler in the world today, bar none. But this match was so good, I was like, I will not be mad in the least bit if Marty wins, because he earned it.
It'd be hell of a way to put him over to a Scurll and one. But
yeah.
Okada won. I think everyone's happy with the way the match turned out.
Yeah, I think he won, but he did it in such a way that there was no one sad about that Marty lost, because he lost in such an epic match. Who cares?
And then, of course, the final match of the night. Of course, when you're booking this crap, you can put yourself last, which is what the Young Bucks did. Of course.
Yeah. Who's complaining at this point? Who cares?
This was a 6-man tag, the Golden Elite against Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandido. Mm-hmm. I got this one right, picking the Golden Elite, but how about Mysterio showing up as Wolverine, full-on yellow suit Wolverine?
That was so... Okay, so Mysterio can...
For the Geekcasters out there.
So yeah. So Mysterio turning just about any comic icon into a suit he can wear for wrestling just always impresses me. One of my favorites was when he did the Joker at WrestleMania 25. That was I was there live for that one, and when he came out, it was me and my younger cousin. We were watching. I was like, "Does he have on a green wig?" And then I said, "Oh my God, he's the Joker! This is the best WrestleMania ever." So to see him come out full Wolverine, I was like, "This is cool. This is really, really cool." But how cool must it have been for Bandido and Rey Fenix? Because Rey Mysterio, he's a pioneer luchador. There's no doubt about it. There's no way you can underplay how important Rey Mysterio has been for Lucha Libre over the years. Because starting from from where he began, then going to ECW, WCW, and then in WWE, where he just shattered all sorts of glass ceilings.
Definitely.
World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Champion. No matter how short that reign was, I still think that was stupid. That's a whole other rant I will never go into. Not here anyway, unless I'm allowed, but not tonight. But but no, Rey Mysterio, he's a groundbreaker, and now he's like looking like better than he has in years, and is just as amazing as he's ever been. And then he's in this great 6-man tag team match. It was fantastic.
And possibly maybe his last appearance on the Indies if he's going to show up in WWE very soon as rumors have it.
Yeah.
Because he's in the new video game coming out.
But,
yeah. The match ends appropriately after a Meltzer driver.
I thought that was so poetic, such poetic
really
justice. I wasn't even mad.
With Meltzer almost pseudo challenging someone, saying no one's going to, that Ring of Honor can never sell out a 10,000 plus arena anytime soon. And this wasn't even a Ring of Honor promoted show, and they did it. It was pretty amazing.
And technically, in some ways, he was proven wrong about Ring of Honor because the Ring of Honor World Champion was there. And several ROH wrestlers were presented, including
a lot of the casting crew.
Including not only the referees and the ring announcers, but the 6-man tag team champions were there too, and the Young Bucks and Cody.
Yep.
But I think one thing about the whole Meltzer thing is like I think that's one of those things where he was probably very happy to be very wrong.
Definitely. I think for once he's like, you know what, you guys proved me wrong. Hats off to you.
I am so happy. I am so happy I was wrong about this. This is the most happy I've been about being wrong in my life.
This show got a lot of praise. I mean, main event might have ended up abruptly because they were running out of pay-per-view time, but that's all right. This show was awesome. Of course, there was some after the pay-per-view went off the air in the ring, some thank yous and everything that went out. You can probably find that on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, unless they post it on Being the Elite sometime soon.
They probably will.
I think they will because I think Nick said on Twitter that he didn't have enough. There was too much footage to post that quickly. He said there's no way I'm going to get. There's probably going to be like 2 episodes worth of Being the Elite of just all in, which I'm 1,000% okay with. Take time, cut it, and put it out when it's ready. I'm good.
They need a break anyway after a hell of a weekend.
They do, so man.
They put on a hell of a show.
That was amazing. And that's why I think that's why like even the main event, they ran out of time, they have to rush through. It's like, who cares? We got a solid show, and unlike some other promotions who are currently out of business who put out not stellar main events because the rest of the show was actually not that great to begin with, this show was good from top to bottom, and the main event was rushed. It was still 11 minutes of amazing.
Yep. So as far as our predictions went, I didn't count the Battle Royal because there's so much in there.
There was way too much.
And then of course Matt Cross and MJF. We didn't know about that match until the show started.
Yeah.
I went 4-5 on the weekend. Tommy went 6-3, and then Tina went 1-0 because she only picked Jay Lethal. That's it.
Yeah.
Now we didn't do this for SummerSlam. I completely forgot. Sorry, I effed up on that one. But we'll do this for this show and for any future pay-per-views that we review. We'll have what are called our Wrestle-Cast ratings. Of course, we do this on the Countdown City Geekcast whenever we're reviewing movies. Mm-hmm. We're doing our Wrestle-Cast ratings from 0 to 5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, and 0 being December to Dismember.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, I'll start with you. How would you rate the All-In show that we just watched?
You know, it's probably won't surprise many people at all, but I'm going to go ahead and give this a 5 because I'm basing it on comparing, these guys who. They work with guys who've had plenty of production experience with wrestling shows, but this is, again, not WWE produced. Mm-hmm. This is not WWE run. It's not even WWE promoted. It's these guys from different backgrounds, indie backgrounds, and of course New Japan too, which is not at all indies. I don't care what anyone says. New Japan is not indies. You cannot be indies when you're the number 1 promotion in your country. Okay, that's that argument.
Could be.
No, it couldn't. Anyway. Well, yeah, if you're talking like a little itty bitty country that's like 15 people in, then yeah, sure. But anyways, that's another rant. I'll probably do that on my YouTube channel. But anyway, I'm giving this a 5 because everyone did their part. Everyone went in and did the job they're supposed to do. I mean, when you get a guy like Stephen Amell who, like I said, like we said, doesn't need it. He doesn't need to do all this. But he did this because he wanted to help the show. He loves wrestling and was willing to put his body on the line just for the show to be good, get people talking about it, man. And besides, the matches were great. Even the quote unquote worst matches of this show were not bad. They were just not as spectacular as the other matches, but that did not make them bad at all. Top to bottom, great show. I would watch it again. I am going to watch it again. 5 out of 5 for me.
I'm going to say 4.75.
Okay.
There's no perfect wrestling show. I mean, obviously there's stuff they can improve on. I mean, it's a first time through. Maybe the pace of the matches as far as, they kind of had to rush that last match at the end. But it was fun. It was just a fun show.
Absolutely.
Crowd was into it. As a fan, you're watching at home, whether it was on your TV or your mobile device. It was just a fun show from top to bottom. Everything was great. I think this is basically like the fifth WrestleMania type event. WWE has WrestleMania, TNA is Bound for Glory, Ring of Honor has, what would you say, Final Battle?
Yeah, Final Battle.
And then, of course, New Japan has Wrestle Kingdom. For the independents, it's all in.
Yeah.
This is the show you want to get on if you're an independent wrestler and you're not signed to a major company. Get yourself on this show. This will get those companies' eyes on you.
For sure.
How well can you work that crowd? How well can you... This is where you can showcase that. And I guess you can call this the fifth WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That comes out annual. Hopefully this is a recurring show.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
So I can try to get to one.
Even if Cody and Young Bucks don't put this together in the future, if they happen to get signed by a major company, maybe they can put something like this together or pass it on.
Yeah.
And who knows if we'll ever see this in... Maybe travel around. It may not even be in Chicago next
year.
I
think one rumor I heard was if they do another one, they might do it in California, which we'll see. But I forgot to say this. I do want to send a special shout out to Jordan Grace, who was in the Over Budget Battle Royal.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she used to wrestle down here in Texas a lot. She actually managed to bench press, or rather squat with Brian Cage. Yeah, that's impressive. If y'all never seen Brian Cage, look him up. And then look up Jordan Grace. That girl is strong.
Yeah.
She deserves some props. Someone else book her. Often. Thank you.
She's a hell of a talent. I hope she gets signed soon if she does not in the industry for very long.
For real.
So I give it 4.75. He gave it a 5. That brings our Wrestle-Cast rating to 4.875 on this pay-per-view. Great show. We want to send our congrats to Cody and the Young Bucks for putting on an amazing show.
Amazing.
You got the challenge of 10,000 plus seats. The attendance figures came out 11,263. That's pretty awesome.
What I saw, and funny part was I didn't see that till I think did they release it today or yesterday?
It was earlier today.
Okay.
I think one of the Young Bucks tweeted it.
Yeah, because that's when I saw it, and I just sat back. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" They blew apart the numbers that they had, and
yeah.
And it was a great show. So.
And in true indie style, they might have lost money on the show, but who
probably.
cares? It's not fun.
They probably made it up at Starcast though.
Yeah, probably. Congrats also to Cody for winning the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, a title that his dad held so many years ago. Yeah. Seeing that on pictures of that around his waist, seeing that on your waist now is amazing. You're going to be a great champion.
Absolutely.
Good luck with that title run. And also congrats again to Kenny Omega, #1 on the PWI 500 this year. Enjoy that run. You're doing awesome. Keep up the good work. And that's our show for today. We reviewed All In. Tell us what you thought in the comments section on this video. And also next week we will be previewing the upcoming WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, which will be taking place here in San Antonio. We're going to have some more Wrestle-Casters here. My wife should be back for that, we hope. And then a couple of new guys who wanted to jump in on this, one of which will actually be at the show as well. So join us next week. We'll be previewing Hell in a Cell. Once again, this is Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
I'm JC. And remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Okay.